to concerning issues. First, how might have the diversity affected the group functioning? Secondly, what kind of leadership style did Bob and the CEO hold? And thirdly, does the company motivational mechanism sufficiently encourage employees to perform at their base? Fourthly, what went wrong in the communication dynamics? Next, what are the results of the role perception, role expectation and experiences, role ambiguity or role conflict on the part of different individuals? And lastly, our recommendations. Diversity aspects.
Diversity is the extent to which members of a group are different. It can be a strength, however, here people are unable to use their differences to make the group better. The surface level diversity in the company is very high since they combine almost opposite characteristics like age or gender. However, the importance of surface level diversity is minor compared to deep level diversity, which is about backgrounds, habits, opinions, and work style. For example, Bob has a traditional style whereas Annette is contemporary. Moreover, they seem to be too individualistic and think of the objectives of their fields rather than of the company's objectives, so they don't adapt, which is the reason why the conflict began.
The leadership style of Bob and the CEO. For the leadership style of Bob, he is charismatic and self-centered person. Let's take a look at the charismatic first. He understands the business very well. Second, he always works to achieve goals. Third, he gets his people to do unbelievable things. And the last one is, his people adore him. And for the self-centered, Bob never take company's culture seriously, and he wasn't on board when there were meetings about developing company mission and values, and he runs service like in his own private kingdom, separating from the rest of the company. And lastly, he ignores or even insults the other companies, lead to making other people feel uncomfortable working with him. And for the suggestion, he needs to develop high level of emotional intelligence in order to achieve. Bob needs to be more self-awareness, such as understanding one's own emotion, strengths, and weakness, and also concern about the social awareness like empathy to others and organization awareness. Moving on to the CEO, which is Jay. He is a laissez-faire person because he's only focused on delegating many tasks to the team members. Also, he providing little to no supervision, and he doesn't spend his time intensely managing employees. This creates a distance between him and his employee, and that distance starts to interfere with direction and productivity. They need assistance and advice to accomplish their directives. And for the recommendation, he needs to improve his organizational communication skills by getting out in front of the troops who state the importance of knowledge management to concord machines, and to underscore the need for the business units and the corporate staff to work together. And as a plan is formulated and implemented, he needs to continue to take a visible role, reinforcing his interest and support.
Another explanation of the problem is the motivational mechanisms of the company, which are not efficient. Managers have too much liberty in their job, and that's why Anne decided on her own to launch the knowledge program without having the CEO's permission. Moreover, intrinsic motivations are too strong. That leads Bob to a burnout.
Outburst, burnout, conflict, lack of communication. It's the actual situation in Concord machines. We will explain it to you. Another problem discovered in the company is the lack of communication. Indeed, there is no communication dynamics. There is no great relationships between Bob and Annette because of that. Indeed, because of this lack of communication, workers aren't performant and there is a negative atmosphere at work. However, communication is worst with Jay. Indeed, he didn't tell his managers about the financial situation in the company. Then, Annette wasn't able to achieve her goals because of this lack of communication. That's why she made mistakes.
And stated that there is no cross-unit teaming, while Paula mentioned that Bob is the only manager that would even consider getting to know his employees. However, Anne and Bob are both guilty for this lack of communication. The poor communication down the line from top management is also create a culture that contradicts to the company value. The misunderstanding between Anne and Jay regarding her proposal is a clear example of this. This is why Jay needs to clarify Anne's role with the company and why the innovation will benefit not only Bob but the whole company. Furthermore, if Jay believes that innovation would benefit the company, he must create the climate that promotes a new idea and is open to change.
It would have been important to think about this problem before hiring workers because everyone can't be adapted for the job. The company may have implemented MBTI in order to find the best candidate. Considering diversity, we believe that the management team of the company has to focus on the deep level diversity instead of surface level diversity. Then, it's important to develop communications between workers. It's necessary to improve the horizontal communications between managers to avoid the conflict between Bob and Annette. For instance, some appointments could take place every week to say what is wrong or great. Thanks to that, Annette wouldn't be guilty of her mistake and Bob would have known what she was preparing. It's also imperative to improve the downward communication. Jay has many efforts to do so. Then it would be a good idea to implement team building to avoid negative moods at work and create positive relationships. It's necessary to improve the company motivational mechanism by implementing an employee recognition program. Bob would have been rewarded for his hard work and would have become aware that he needed a break.